mynews.studio.
Starting from the crowded alleys of Mumbai to the bright lights of Dubai, there's a question. Can murals really teach more than textbooks, especially for children who are often left behind?
Today is February 19th, 2026. Rubal Nagi has just received the $1 million GEMS Education Global Teacher Prize. That's not just any award. It's selected from over 5,000 nominations across 139 countries. What's striking is she started by painting slum walls. Does that suggest that our usual education models might be missing something essential?
That's a fair point. What stands out in Nagi's story isn't only what she did, but how she did it. She began as an artist in Jammu and Kashmir, born in 1980. Rather than building traditional schools, she set up more than 800 learning centers in over 100 underserved communities. But instead of textbooks, she used murals, large interactive paintings on neglected walls, to teach basics like literacy and even hygiene. Do we sometimes overlook how much our surroundings can actually teach us?
Let's take a closer look at the role of art. In her first workshop in Kashmir, Nagi expected about 100 children. But more than 700 came. Why? Because art doesn't intimidate. It skips over the shame or fear that formal schooling often brings, especially in slum areas. For these kids, painting felt like play, not a duty. So, is art just decoration? Or does it actually open the door for participation?
It's more than a door. It's the first step in. Once the kids got involved through painting, they began to ask about school on their own. And this is key. Parents and the whole community joined in too. Education stopped feeling like something forced from outside. It became something the neighborhood could claim. When families see their own walls changing and their children excited, resistance to education drops. How often do we see models where the community actually becomes a partner in learning?
Scaling all this was a real challenge. Nagi ran into deep poverty, child labor, early marriage, and a fair amount of skepticism. But instead of forcing a strict model, she offered flexible schedules, so children who worked could still join in. She used recycled materials, making sure her approach didn't depend on resources that just weren't there. That's a significant shift. Is it really possible to reach 1 million children without big government funding?
It seems the answer is yes, if you know how to bring people together. Nagi trained over 600 local educators, keeping the effort rooted in each community. She also teamed up with unexpected partners, like the Indian Army, especially in areas where civilian groups typically couldn't go. So maybe scaling up depends more on finding the right partners than just having the right curriculum.
Now, looking ahead, Nagi plans to use her prize money to create a skilling institute in Jammu and Kashmir. The focus is on vocational and digital skills, free for the entire community. She's thinking beyond just teaching reading and writing. She wants to offer real tools for work and entrepreneurship. Considering she's already halved dropout rates and kept children engaged in over 100 communities, is there good reason to think this institute will succeed?
All the signs point in a positive direction. Nagi's learning centers have shown that when education matches real needs and uses creative methods, both attendance and engagement rise sharply. Moving into digital and job-related skills seems like a logical next step. If you can link literacy to economic opportunity, you don't just improve lives, you transform neighborhoods. Isn't that what real impact looks like?
And it's especially relevant right now. The pandemic has made educational gaps even wider in many places. Nagi's example is both a wake-up call and a possible blueprint. It proves you don't always need huge budgets or advanced technology. Just creativity, dedication, and a clear sense of what people actually need. So what keeps more of us from trying new approaches like this?
That's the real question. To sum up, today we explored how one teacher's murals changed education in some of the toughest environments, why it matters when communities take ownership, and how practical partnerships can lead to real progress.
And as Nagi moves into her next phase, the world is watching to see if creativity at the grassroots can outpace old systems. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for listening. This episode was brought to you by mynews.studio. Give it a try. free of charge.